Hello, and thank you for tuning in to learn more about Lake Forest College, or the Forest as our community calls it. My name is Jackie Hofler, and I'm the Associate Vice President for Admissions. Having spent over a decade at this institution watching students benefit from the transformative experience, I can say with confidence that this college and this community is special. It starts with what you see on this first slide. This is about you. This is about your future, your hopes, your dreams. You get to choose the adventure, and we're here to help you craft an unforgettable experience. So today I want to take some time to help you get to know Lake Forest a little bit better, what makes us unique and different. I'll go into things like Chicago, who we are as a community, and then I'll end on things like academics and financial aid. And first, I want to introduce a student that's joining me today. She'll be helping me along the way during the presentation, providing anecdotes and information from the current student perspective. So Yessie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Jackie, for having me here today. Again, as mentioned, my name is Yessie Uribe. I am from Round Lake, Illinois, so not too far away from campus. I'm a neuroscience major with a chemistry minor. I went into the college knowing I wanted to do neuroscience, pursuing the pre-medical track at the college. So I'm really happy and grateful for that. As you can see, I'm really blessed to be part of a few organizations on campus and activities as well, from networking as a Gemery Fellow to being in a student-led organization such as Future Health Professionals. I can say that the college really does provide us the resources to be able to flourish through these organizations. So I'm really happy to connect with students as well and give more feedback into this.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for being here. So let's start with Lake Forest in a nutshell. We're a small, private, liberal arts institution located just 30 miles north of the third largest city in the country, Chicago. Students benefit from the best of both worlds. They have the quintessential college experience with access to all the benefits and resources that a major metropolitan can provide. We're intentionally small. Here, students enjoy small classes and close interactions with professors. As you can see, we attract students from all over the country and all over the world. And you can see that this makes for a dynamic campus community and one that is active 7 days a week. I'll go into depth into some of these other things as the presentation goes on. Let me start with what makes us unique. If you're looking at other small liberal arts schools, and I truly hope that you are, they might start to run together. We all have the same goal of educating you as an entire person. You'll take courses across a breadth of academic areas while focusing on a few areas, like Yessie is with neuroscience and chemistry. These areas may develop into majors and into minors, or areas that you just start taking classes in because they're interesting to you. So I want to focus on what makes Lake Forest unique. You'll note here a few items that set us apart: a focus on pragmatism, stellar career preparation, our connection with Chicago, and the diversity on campus. So let's start with pragmatism. It's important that we prepare you for the real world now. This means a strong focus on making you do stuff, very important, professional, relevant stuff. And all of this stuff is going to help you either clarify your career goal or add really important experiences to your resume. It's so important to us that it's part of our Forrester Fundamental Curriculum, which in other words are your graduation requirements. So you have to do one of these things in order to graduate, though we think that you'll want to do many of these things. Most of our students may participate in a couple of internships, several research programs, and study abroad. So when you look at this list, I don't want you to think, which of these do I want to do? It's which of these do I want to do, and do I want to do them twice? So Yessie, I'm interested from you. Can you highlight one area above in which you've participated and the impact that it's had on your college experience so far?
Of course, I can definitely talk on this one. I get super excited talking about research, internships, but I can definitely say I have been fortunate enough to be able to do research with faculty on campus. I can say that, being in a cognitive psychology lab with Dr. Kelly, I have learned so many research skills alongside professionalism. And I think that that's one that we definitely, or as myself, I did not realize how important that would be and how much that comes in importance through your college experience. But from collaborating with other Lake Forest College students, thinking critically to presenting at a psychonomics conference, I have been blessed with great memories. I've also done research at Ralston Franklin, which was really helpful and was through Lake Forest College. So again, really grateful for all these research and internships opportunities that we have at Lake Forest College.
Oh, that's terrific. And like you can see from Yessie, all of this is to prepare you for this career after graduation. In her case, wanting to go into the medical professions. You want a productive career after graduation, and we want to help you get there. It's even in our mission statement at the college, and I would encourage you to look at that. It's important to note that you don't need to come to campus knowing exactly what you want to do. In fact, having an open mind is preferred. So you aren't closed to opportunities or academic areas of interest that maybe you haven't been exposed to yet. What's more important for you is to know that you have a team of faculty, staff, alumni, and friends at the college who are here helping you figure out what that next step is, whether it's graduate school, medical school, or going right out into the workforce. And it's important that you have a plan to help you get there. We're thrilled that our students have benefited from an expanded Career Advancement Center, and the results prove that what we're doing works. With a 96% placement rate, I think we're doing okay. Yessie, I know that you mentioned a little bit that you wanted to go into the medical profession. Do you want to share your career goal or dream?
Of course, yeah. So my ultimate goal is to go to medical school. I'm looking into OBGYN or psychiatry, and I could really say and vouch for using the Career Advancement Center so much. I definitely have, used all my resources from my academic advisor to advisors within the pre-health committee. So I can say really from day one at the college, you are really surrounded by wonderful people who do want to help you get to that ultimate goal. So I'm really happy you mentioned that, of having a lot of people at the campus ready to help you make that happen.
I think that's great. And yes, it's probably in our science and healthcare pathway. And I did want to highlight, you can see the third bullet here. We have several pathways at the college that prepare students to just get to know different careers in certain buckets. So things like law and public policy, certainly science and healthcare, creative arts, build your own. And I would encourage you to go onto our career advancement website and learn a little bit more about these pathway programs and how they support students. So let's talk about Chicago. If you're familiar with the city of Chicago, then you know what an asset it is to be nearby. There are endless opportunities to utilize the city for internships, research, fun, cultural attractions. The train station is just a 10-minute walk from campus, and students can be in the city in about an hour or less. You'll find yourself going downtown with friends or as part of the over 200 faculty-led trips that we do annually. Another strong benefit of being near the city are the speakers and experts that we can draw from and bring to campus. That only further enhances the learning and research that's happening up in Lake Forest. So Yessie, can you share an anecdote about how you've utilized the city either for fun or for academics?
I definitely have used it for both. I can say being able to go to Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, alongside a lot of classmates and my professors has really been a great memory that I have. And also, again, even on a Friday night, being able to walk to the train and get into the city for a really good price, because we do have discounted Metro tickets. So a lot of perks come with being a Lake Forest College student and being so close to the city and yet in the suburb. It's like living the best of both worlds.
Oh, that's terrific. So I want to talk a little about the makeup of the institution. Lake Forest is a very diverse institution in every sense of that word. And as noted, our students come from all over the country and all over the world, and you'll find yourself engaged in conversation with a lot of people of different cultural, political, and socioeconomic backgrounds. I encourage each of you to look into our Office of Intercultural Relations for their exceptional programming, identity and empowerment groups, and ways in which they support students. So let's talk a little bit about academics. I have to say, undecided might be my favorite major, or at least my favorite major for students to come in with. As I mentioned before, I want students to come in with an open mind, whether you know exactly what you want to do. Oftentimes, like with Yessie, she knew exactly what she wanted to do and is following that path, which is terrific. But sometimes students have their interests are not yet clarified, or they have so many interests they're having a hard time narrowing it down. Sometimes students are going to find a professor or a class that simply blows their mind or hits on a particular strength or passion, and they'll continue that journey over their 4 years here. I love, we have an associate dean on campus who I think puts it really well. She says, you need to feed your head and you need to feed your heart. When I'm talking with students, I want them to think of all the things that they might be interested in and not just that one thing. Take a class because it interests you. Talk to a professor about their research interests. One thing that you'll note on, as you're seeing on this slide, is that most of our students are going to have more than one academic area of interest. This could translate into a double major, as you'll see about a quarter of our students complete, a major and a minor, a major and 2 minors. So there's lots of ways that you can learn about new areas and really delve deeply into some of these disciplines. You also have the opportunity to design your own class or to design your own major, and many of our students take advantage of this opportunity. Some of my favorite recent examples include things like strategic communication and digital marketing, or the art of advertising. I hope you know by now that college is more than just classes and majors. In fact, about 86% of your time in college will not be spent inside the classroom. And I really, really love this statistic that I stole from another dean on campus. What it should signal to you is that you're going to have a lot of time outside of class. And how you use that time is crucial to having a productive and rewarding experience. It might mean participating in one of our 25 varsity sports. We've recently added lacrosse, which you'll hear a little bit about later. It might be joining several clubs and organizations, as you've seen that Yessie has done. And a lot of these organizations either they're fun, they're political, they're religious, they tie to your major. There really is something for everybody. And I encourage you to go onto our Student Life website and look at what we do offer. One of the other beauties about this campus is if you don't find something that you like, find some friends and create it. We want to help you, support you in your adventure. So Yessie, can you highlight an activity or an organization in which you're involved and talk a little bit about why that one is so important to you?
Yeah, I would love to talk about all of them, but I'll definitely talk today about future health professionals. The reason why I mentioned that one first is because being, coming into the college, just being a sophomore, even in your second year, I was able to get involved within the executive board. And I think that that's so important because it highlights that you can be involved and you can be a leader and you can be heard. And I think that's really, really critical within your time at a college. So I'm really happy I can do that there. Making sure that students are being heard, what can best help them, resources, connecting with medical schools nearby or physician assistant programs, everything like that. I'm just really happy. A lot that I have gained through my experience and now being president of Future Health Professionals. So I'm really, really grateful that we have that opportunity at the campus.
Awesome. Thank you. So before we get to admissions and financial aid, I want to share what's new and upcoming on campus. And all of these examples should be strong signs to you that we are investing in our community. Construction is currently underway on Brown Hall, which will be the largest academic building on campus. We've added varsity lacrosse for both men and women. And not only have we added the sport, but I think also importantly, we're adding a turf field, which is almost done, and new lockers to support them. We have a new health professions program, and Yessie's touched a little bit on some of the really wonderful tenets of that program. We partner with a local medical university, Rosalind Franklin, a couple miles to our north, to not only offer dual degree programs and joint programs, but really to also expose undergraduate students to medical faculty by way of a core seminar series. This new program is perfect for all students interested in the health professions, whether that's becoming a doctor, like Yessie aspires to be, going into health administration, nursing, or the dozens of other health professions. And lastly, data science is one of our newer majors on campus. And this was introduced as an interdisciplinary major in the fall of 2019. So that's another offering that we're excited to have. So you've heard about our community and what makes it remarkable, and now you want in, or at least I hope you do. We have 3 application deadlines, as you'll note here, and students that are applying to the college, just so you know, are immediately connected with an admission counselor, and I'm one of them, who serves as your resource and your advocate throughout this process. And I want to note that because we're not just the person that gets, or we're not the people that just read your application and make decisions on whether or not you get in. We really are here to help guide you and to help answer questions and to help connect you with this community. So I strongly encourage you to reach out to your admission counselor, schedule an admissions interview, schedule a chat just to get to know us a little bit further. The more we know about you, the more context we're going to have as part of your application. We have a very typical application process. We need your app, some transcripts from every place that you've attended. Test scores are optional. I'll talk about that more in one minute. And of course, a letter of recommendation. And then that interview with your admission counselor, where we really get to figure out and learn more about you and your hopes and your dreams, and what makes Lake Forest a good fit for you. So as I mentioned, we are test optional. And if you choose not to submit a score, I also want you to know that you are considered for the same merit aid as those that are applying with a test. And I know that that is ever important, more important this year than really ever before. We review applications holistically, and the bottom line is we're looking for students who will benefit from and contribute to this community. But we also want you to make it work. We know that finances can be important. We want to reward you for your good work prior to enrolling, and so you'll see the scholarship grid that we've put together. And as I mentioned before, this might change a little bit because we're looking for even more ways to make this easy if you are going test optional. So be on the lookout for a new and even better version of this. In addition to strong merit aid, we try to make this affordable for your family. So students should plan to submit either the FAFSA, which you can see is open now, or the CSS profile for additional need-based aid consideration. You'll see that more than 90% of our students are receiving some form of financial aid, and we want to make sure that you're receiving that as well. I hope this presentation has given you a little peek into Lake Forest College. I also know that there is no substitute for seeing the campus yourself. Here are just a couple of opportunities to engage with us. You can certainly do our virtual tour of campus. That's available anytime. We are offering both virtual and in-person visits on campus. Visits are available most Monday through Saturdays throughout the year. Come to campus, take a tour, walk the grounds, meet with a current student, see our residence hall, and maybe even pick up some Forester gear. And I also want to say, don't forget, Lake Michigan and our stunning beach is only a 10-minute walk from campus. So if you do come to visit Lake Forest, make sure that you get to know the town of Lake Forest, make sure that you get to see the beach and all the other things that you might see as a student here. If you have questions, I really do invite you to reach out to me personally. This is a place where everyone is an advocate for your success, and it starts with me. I'd love to say hello. And I'd love to introduce you to your admission counselor, who, as I mentioned, will be your biggest resource during the application process. For now, take care, be well, and we'll see you soon.